Race number 5 takes us to the Diamond of the Desert here in Phoenix, Arizona. Good evening, everybody. My name is Nick Stein, joined alongside Sheldon Adkins and, of course, Austin Derbyshire in the booth, or in the production truck, excuse me. But like I said, we're here in the Diamond of the Desert, also known as the Dogleg of the Desert here in Phoenix, Arizona. As you can see on our Google Earth cam, going straight down into the desert here in Arizona, and this is set to be a good night. Trucks always put on a show here, Sheldon.
I don't know about that. I mean, I've never really been super big on Phoenix, but I know the quality of this league. I think we're going to have a pretty good event here tonight. Sorry about the yelling kid in the background.
Hey, fair enough. But usually Phoenix is always known as a good race, but seeing as I believe it is supposed to be a night race here tonight, I think it's supposed to be a night race. Not sure on that, but usually night races are a pretty good show here, but we'll have to see if this is actually a morning race or a night race. I'm not too sure.
Yeah, so one thing I'm kind of curious about, we got this new update with the truck. They said that there's underbody damage as a thing now. I'm wondering if coming through the dog leg, if these guys don't bottom out and tear these things up.
Yeah, I believe getting into that, you got some keys to the race here for us tonight. I believe we're going to have to keep one of those as a fourth key to the race here tonight is that damage you were talking about.
Oh, yeah, my bad. So, yeah, one of the big things, dirty air. This place, it's really hard to make passes. It's an easy track for you guys to get kind of log jam stuck in behind each other. So a really big important thing is going to be trying to get some clean air. With that's going to come track position, start to finish. That's got to be your priority because it is so hard to get by people. The easiest way to get through is to just make good strategy calls and try to minimize mistakes. And then above all of it, restarts. They get crazy here. We can fan out all the way down to the inside wall down there in the dog leg, and you can have people coming in all the way from the apron going in. It's people picking up spots like crazy. So it's going to be kind of like a mini poke. I've always looked at this place.
I was going to say, I've seen upwards of 4 wide down into turn number 1 on some of these restarts. I've even seen 5 wide at one point, but let me go ahead and get into our broadcast picks. And at this point, you'd be stupid not to take one of your top 2 at the moment in qualifying, either Mark Whitley or Kevin Dick. I'm going to go ahead and take the 77 of Mark Whitley. He's going 4 for 4 tonight, I feel like.
Yeah, I can't believe that's a bold choice there. I'm going to have to get. He's been running pretty good. I think he can find himself up here to the front.
Unfortunately for Sheldon there, I believe he's having low connections issues. He's taking the 7 of Jason Miz there. He is currently set to start 12th position. Taking 8 of Joseph Coffee, starting with 21st here tonight. So, been all over the place with our race picks here. We got one start front row, one starting mid pack, and one starting at the back of the pack. So, going every which direction you can go here tonight at Phoenix. And currently, officially at not 6 a.m. sim time at the moment here at Phoenix Raceway. So I believe the time should progress, towards the night. So hopefully we're not dealing with an early morning race and rather a late night race here. But warm-up just ended for these guys. As you can see, Marty the flagman waving the checkered flag right next to the good old Phoenix cactus right there. As we're getting ready to roll over into said session, another 10 seconds or so here. We're going to get a look at our weather. A pretty cool day here in Phoenix, Arizona. 71 degrees. The track temp, and it did roll over. It is currently 8 a.m. So got ourselves a bit of a morning race here, but as it did flip over, temperatures have changed. We'll get into that a little bit later, but we'll get into our starting grid real quick here. On pole position, the exact same front row we had last week at New Hampshire. Kevin Dick in the 52 takes pole position with a 26.606. Mark Whitley to his outside in the 77 with a 26.667. Starting in third place tonight, the 25 of Andrew Chapman had himself a little bit of a rough race last week in New Hampshire. Looking to bounce back here, starting in third. Ed Scherer Jr. is going to be taking the outside of row number 2 in the number 1 truck. Levi McCarty takes the inside of row number 3 in that 5th spot. Scott Felt's going to be starting 6th, rounding out row number 3. Row number 4, Charlie Harcum and Jacob Denson. Number 5 going to be Tyler Riggs and Joshua Lucas, rounding out your top 10.
11th place, we got Derek Grigsby. He's got Justin Miz on his outside in 12th. 13th place, we're going to have Jim Treat, followed by Nathan All. 15th, it's going to be Sean Merriman to his outside. 7th.
We're going to finish off the starting grid with myself here, as Sheldon's still having some issues here. Going to go through our 11th on it just again since he was lagging a little bit. Derek Grigsby 11th, Jason Miz 12th, Jim Treat 13th, Nathan Aldrich was 14th, James Kerr going to be 15th, Sean Merriman was 16th, Austin Pendergrass 17th, Alan Martin was in 18th, Andrew Pendergrass in 19th, Cody Henderson rounds out your top 20, and finishing off your 25 car grid here tonight is going to be Joseph Causey 21st, Joshua Gathright, or excuse me, Jordan Berry 22nd, Timothy Pendergrass 23rd, Garrett Velzy in 24th, and Joshua Gathright rounding out your top 25 here tonight at Phoenix Raceway, the Diamond of the Desert, as we're getting ready to go green here. Green flag out in the air here to start 176 laps for these guys here tonight, and already you see them fanning out all the way down to that inside wall. 3, 4 wide down into turn number 1. Looks like it's going to be the 52 of Kevin Dick taking the lead to start this thing off. Oh, but off of turn number 2, a lot of guys loose. Kevin Dick was sideways. I believe Andrew Chapman was sideways as well coming off the corner. That's going to hand the lead to Mark Whitley in the 77. He'll lead lap number 1 here at Phoenix Raceway. And before we get any further into this thing, stages are 30 and 80 here tonight. So quick sprint to the end of stage 1, which will be our caution here tonight. Our one guaranteed caution thanks to the wheel spin that these guys have week in and week out to determine stage breaks here. Actually, I lied. It is a caution on the second stage. Apologies about that, but second stage will be our one caution here tonight. And of course, that is our wheel spin brought to you by Realty Executive Saskatoon there, but it is still Mark Whitley leading over Kevin Dick, who has pulled out a pretty good gap over Ed Shearer Jr. in the 24. Scott Feltz and Levi McCarty looking to go side by side for that 4th spot. Further on back, Charlie Harcum in 6th, Andrew Chapman 7th after getting really sideways. Jacob Dinson down in 8th, Tyler Riggs and Joshua Lucas rounding out your top 10 just only after a couple of laps here tonight, coming up on lap number 5 here. I believe we still do not have Sheldon back as he's still having some technical issues here. We'll hopefully get him back here soon, but I'm more than happy to continue calling this race here as it should be a good one. And currently 8:03 a.m. virtual sim time as Scott Feltz and Levi McCarty still side by side off of turn number 2. This is your battle for 4th position. It looks like Levi McCarty is going to come out on top of that battle there. And a little bit further back, Andrew Chapman now looking to the inside of the 82 of Charlie Harcum. And one thing that we did bring up pre-race is we're going to have to watch these guys getting into the dog leg and make sure they're not getting any suspension damage, because that is one thing now. If you do bottom out the car or truck, excuse me, too hard, there is a chance that you can get some suspension damage here. So we're going to have to watch and see if anyone does happen to get possibly a meatball flag for that here tonight. As down into turn 1 and 2, Harcum does give up the position to the 25 of Chapman. Looking on board off the front end of the 79 of Jacob Denson here in the B&H Racing Team Chevrolet Silverado, as he's looking to work his way past the 82 of Charlie Harcum here. But still nothing coming just yet as he looks to the inside of the 82 of Harcum. For the moment, it looked like they were about to make some contact, as now Jacob Denson takes it all the way to the yellow line, coming up off the dog leg. Charlie Harcum in that outside line. Jacob Denson gets a little bit loose off of turn number 2 and has to cede that battle just for now. As now down into turns 3 and 4, headed up towards the Phoenix Cactus here. Charlie Harcum still defending. I believe Jacob Denson may have been in the wall there for just a second. Right behind him, see the 25 truck. I believe that is Tyler Riggs in that 25. Actually, the 26, excuse me. The 25 of the SpongeBob themed Chevrolet Silverado right there. I believe that's SpongeBob themed. Looks like it. Hey, I was right. I didn't look dumb for the first time in forever, but throughout the field, mostly single file up to this point. We expected a little bit more racing from these guys as Mark Whitley still continues to lead this race. He's leading by about a second over the 52 of Kevin Dick, who's got a further 7/10 back to Ed Shearer Jr. in that third spot. Pretty much dead set single file throughout the majority of your field. You got a little bit of a side-by-side battle here further back. That's, I believe, Austin Pendergrass and Timothy Pendergrass side by side. One Pendergrass passes the other Pendergrass, who loses another position to leave. That was Jim Treat. Actually, Garrett Velzy in the 48 there. That would have been for the 23rd spot. But, oh, we actually got a car spinning off of turn number 2 in the inside wall. Not sure who that is. Jim Treat in the 367 gets a little bit of contact off of turn number 2 and takes a pretty good bite out of the inside wall, but no caution for that. So we stay green here as Mark Whitley continues to lead. Ooh, actually got a bit of the wall Mark Whitley did there. That'll allow Kevin Dick to start catching up just a little bit more to Mark Whitley, but back further, a little bit further back here, this is Joshua Lucas. I believe Derek Grigsby in the 5 truck. Looking like they were trying to get a little bit racy there. Right behind them, you got Joseph Causey and Jason Miz working their way up. A couple of race picks there. Of course, Joseph Causey started 21st tonight. He's up currently 9 positions. Easily your biggest mover as things start to tighten up here as Joshua Lucas now to the inside. A Tyler Riggs in the 26 there. Joseph Causey now looking to the outside of Derek Grigsby. Thought about a little switchback on the 5 of Grigsby there, but Grigsby decided to block the move there. Causey now diamonding the corner really well. Now to the inside of the 5 of Grigsby. That's going to get tied off the corner. They keep it straight, though. And now Causey to the inside of Derek Grigsby. Going to send a dive bomb to the inside. Thought about a 2-for-1 there on Tyler Riggs in the 26, but he decides that that's not quite the right move here, but it'll end up with him being behind Derek Grigsby again, and now having to defend from Jason Miz as now Derek Grigsby to the inside of Tyler Riggs in the 26. It's now through the dog leg for the 16th time tonight. Causey thinks about going through the middle 3 wide, backs out of it though, and now continues to stay on that inside line to the inside. Now thought about 3 wide once again on Derek Grigsby, but once again backs out of the move as he feels like it's a little bit too early for 3 wide here. As Sheldon still not back, maybe dealing with some technical issues. Try it again. Are you there, Sheldon? Survey says no, as he is still dealing with some technical issues. We're still working on getting him all sorted out, but as I said, 17 laps in. If you're just joining us now, 17 laps have passed. Mark Whitley got the lead early on in the race after passing Kevin Dick, who got really loose off of turn number 2 on lap number 1, and it has been Mark Whitley leading ever since. Not much has changed inside your top 5, as I'm pretty sure it's still line astern from what they started, except for your top 2. As I'm looking through, actually, Ed Shearer Jr. has moved up a couple of spots. So is Levi McCarty. Andrew Chapman working his way back up after almost spinning on lap 1. As I said, though, not much change in your top 10. When you get down to 11th is where things have really jumbled up, as Joseph Causey has moved up officially 10 spots now from where he started. He started in 21st, now sitting up in 11th, looking for 10th on Tyler Riggs. Throughout the rest of your field, Grigsby 12th, 13th is Jason Miz, Nathan Aldridge at 14th, and Andrew Pendergrass rounds out your top 15 here tonight as we're approaching the end of stage 1. Now remember, we have 2 stages here tonight for the High Slide Racing League Truck Series. Those stages here tonight are 30 and 80, lap 30 and 80, but they're only going to have the 1 caution, which will come on, I believe they said, the end of stage 2, so that would be the end of lap 80, that these guys will get their 1 guaranteed caution on the night. And of course, they determine which stage does get the stage caution by a randomized wheel spin that is done before every race, and that determines if they get 1 stage caution, 2 stage cautions, or there's an opportunity for no stage cautions, which we've seen a couple of times here tonight. Most notably, I believe that was at Las Vegas where they didn't have any stage cautions. Off of turn number 4 and down into the dog leg again. You see Mark Whitley still leads this race. That gap has come down by about 3/10 to Kevin Dick, but back through the field, this kind of jumble here as Joseph Causey sends a dive bomb from Narnia on Tyler Riggs in that 26 machine for the 10th spot. Doesn't get it to stick and now has to go into defense from Derek Grigsby in the 5. But you cannot sit here and tell me that Causey isn't pushing that car for everything it is worth right now. Off of turn number 4, he looks to the inside once again on Tyler Riggs in that 26 machine. Again, sends the dive bomb from about 1.5 miles back, but this time it actually looks like it's going to stick on Tyler Riggs unless Tyler Riggs gets a really good run off the corner, which he does. Down the way again into turn number 4. Riggs still has that 10th spot. Now remember, this is 4 stage points that these guys are racing for. Just the 1 for this battle for 10th right now, but stage points mean everything in this league, especially with the way it's set up, as another dive bomb from Joseph Causey, and eventually you would think he's going to get one of these to stick. Once again, Tyler Riggs starting to pull that gap out a little bit in the SpongeBob SquarePants number 26. God, what a good cartoon that was. Still is. I mean, Darby's over here killing me for saying was, but it still is a good cartoon, but I just don't watch it as much as I used to. So that's why I said was, Darby. As now we got Austin Derbyshire singing the SpongeBob SquarePants theme in our production truck, so go ahead and mute him for the next 37 seconds. Looking back through our field, mostly single-filed out as Causey with another dive bomb from the county line there this time. Almost gets it to stick. I feel like Causey's 1 or 2 moves away from being able to get this this absolute dive bomb to stick here. And if he doesn't get this to stick here soon, I'm going to start running out of analogies to describe how far he's sending these dive bombs from. Looking back at our leader as there goes Causey from the state line this time. Almost gets it to stick there, but not quite able to. He's definitely trying for that slide job down into turn 1 and 2 and just hasn't been able to get it to stick once, as now he's going to send one down into 3 and 4. As now side by side for the first time in what seems like a while for Joseph Causey. Looks like he may actually get clear of the 26 of Tyler Riggs down in the corner. And he didn't have to send it from the last postal code this time. At this point, I'm just trying to see how many analogies I can use to describe dive bombs. Running a solo show gets fun after a while, but we are coming up on the end of stage number 1 here. Mark Whitley still your leader by about 0.6 of a second over Kevin Dick, as he's now down into 1 and 2, coming up off of turn number 2, headed down the old front straightaway. But now he sends it on to the brakes down into 3 and 4. He's going to see the white flag in stage number 1 here. Of course, not going to have a caution here for stage number 1 as they'll continue to race on. We're expecting anywhere between 35 and 45 lap runs for these guys here tonight, as they're going to continue running and continue sending it off here into these corners to keep this green flag run going. Hasn't had a caution since the drop of the green flag, but down into turns 3 and 4. Going to be Mark Whitley taking stage number 1 here tonight in what has been a dominant run for the 77. Mark Whitley absolutely dominating stage 1 there. Really just no competition there, as once again do we have Sheldon? Survey says no once again, so continue to see what those problems are for him. But we just finished stage number 1 here. Your Real Assist stage winner, Mark Whitley. We're going to take a quick commercial break here at the end of stage number 1. Stay right here. We'll take you to green flag pit stops right after this. Back live here at the Diamond of the Desert. Mark Whitley dominates stage number 1 as your Real Assist stage winner. And of course, always got to thank Real Assist. Are you a real estate agent tired of worrying if your assistant is worth it? Say goodbye to the hassle with Real Assist. Introducing Real Assist, the innovative solution for all your real estate assistant needs. Unlike traditional hourly services, Real Assist operates on a transaction-based model, ensuring you only pay for the tasks that make you money. Imagine saving thousands while focusing on what truly matters, closing deals with and growing your business. Our dedicated team handles everything from administrative tasks to client follow-ups, allowing you to maximize your productivity and profitability. Don't let the stress of managing an assistant slow you down. With Real Assist, you get top-notch support tailored to your needs, giving you peace of mind and the freedom to excel in your career. Real Assist, taking care of all your real estate assistant tasks. Transaction-based, worry-free, and cost-effective. Visit our website today and revolutionize your real estate business. And of course, got to thank all the guys over at Real Assist for sponsoring your stage winners. We got green flag pit stops here at Phoenix Raceway. Your leader, Mark Whitley in the 77. Kevin Dick down pit road as well. I believe Ed Shearer Jr. down right beside him, as this should be a battle for position coming off the pits. So he gets the better stop here as Kevin Dick seemingly slowing down just a little bit here, allowing Ed Shearer Jr. to pull away. Of course, Phoenix Raceway with the curved pit road, a very odd pit road here. As we watch these pit stops. Should be 4 tires and fuel for pretty much everyone. Ed Sheeran Jr. off of pit road way in front of Kevin Dick here. Big surprise here is Kevin Dick getting dusted off of pit road here. That hands the lead to the 25 of Andrew Chapman. But of course, Chapman has not pitted. Causey, Lucas, and Tyler Riggs also have not pitted. Alan Martin, Nathan Aldridge, Garrett Velzy, Sean Merriman, James Kerr, Jim Treat all have not pitted either. As you see the difference between fresh and old tires here. Andrew Chapman getting the doors blown off of him by Mark Whitley there. And that is the difference between fresh tires and 43 lap old tires for you right there, folks. Got another couple of guys. Alan Martin in the 15 down pit road here. Oh, it's actually contact. Your leader almost spins, makes contact with Ed Sheeran Jr. off of turn number 4. Very close margins there for Andrew Chapman. Sideways off of turn 4, almost took out one of your fastest trucks. We could get a replay. It was last lap off of turn number 4. Caution on the racetrack as well as Chapman, and I believe that is Joshua Lucas in the 32 sideways off of turn number 2. Oh, and more spinning here is what the heck is going on? What is going on here at Phoenix Raceway? That was Joshua Lucas originally spun off of turn number 2, and that just gives a free pit stop to everyone who had not pit under green flag. But you see right here, Joshua Lucas gets on the paint. Oh, no, we actually got a little bit of help. I believe that was a 45 of Timothy Pendergrass. I gave him a bumper down into the corner, and this is where things got a little interesting. Oh, no. Oh, maybe not. Just tries burning it back around here. Oh, man. Oh, and oh, man. See, there's Jason Miz in the 23 truck as well. And Sean Merriman in that 23 involved there. And I think that's a product of not slowing down under caution. Get an on-board look from Merriman. At that point, I don't think the caution was out just yet. Okay, it was out from what I'm hearing, and then you see Jason Miz getting involved later on there. But Andrew Chapman does get a free pit stop here for the most part, but that should, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, that puts Mark Whitley back up into the lead here. It's going to be him, leave Ed Sheeran Jr., Joseph Causey, and Kevin Dick. Top 4 at the moment. Tyler Riggs in that 5th spot as well. And Tyler Riggs is going to be the big winner here. After staying out longer than everyone else, he's going to get promoted up into that 4th spot. But first caution of the night here, 47 laps in, after Joshua Lucas, and I believe it was it Andrew Pendergrass on the 45? I can never remember who's in what car. It was Timothy Pendergrass in the 45, goes spinning in turn 1 and 2. Taking out Jason Miz and Sean Merriman along the way. So 4 cars involved in your first caution on the night. In what has been a odd race, I shall say, here on GridVision. Of course, under our first Realty Executive Saskatoon caution on the night. See a lot of lap cars looking to get their wave arounds back here. Get back onto the lead lap as we're 1 lap to green here. As I said earlier, Mark Whitley promoted back up into the lead off of that caution. Ed Sheeran Jr. and Kevin Dick all pit under green flag conditions. I believe Joseph Causey did as well. But Tyler Riggs, Andrew Chapman, Jim Treat, and co. all stayed out until that caution came out. As pace car does exit, but it's still going to be a lot longer of a wait for these guys to get back up to speed here. Ed Sheeran Jr. definitely dealing with a little bit of damage after almost getting into Andrew Chapman, who was very loose off of turn 4 before that caution did come out. So we'll have to see if Ed Sheeran Jr. is able to continue that lightning pace he had throughout the night. As green flag back out of the air, Mark Whitley with a big jump over the rest of the field, takes it all the way down below the apron there onto the dog leg, and it's scatter behind him. As Kevin Dick does look below Ed Sheeran Jr. for a second spot, but isn't able to get the move done further back. All hell has broken loose behind Andrew Chapman, as just an absolute hornet's nest has been kicked alive here at Phoenix Raceway. Andrew Chapman was your leader before that caution, but did have to pit for fuel. As back up front, Ed Sheeran Jr. looking to the inside of Mark Whitley for the lead. He was for just a second off of the turn number 2, but looks like he may not have gotten as good of a run as he would want off of turn number 2. Off of 4, though, it looks like he's a little bit better than Mark Whitley. As down into turn 1 and 2, definitely looks like Ed Sheeran Jr. has Whitley's number through there, whereas Whitley is just so much better off of 3 and 4. So looks like it's going to be a little bit of a game of chicken between these two on who wants to be better on which end of the track. He's looking to the inside once again. Thought about a dive bomb. Does show the nose. And may have gotten a nose to the inside for a split second down in turn 1 and 2. It's going to be another lap of waiting for the 24 of Ed Sheeran Jr. Off of turn number 4, Joseph Causey now to the inside of the 52 of Kevin Dick, and I think Kevin Dick just lets him go there. Allows Causey to keep that 3rd spot. Ed Sheeran Jr. looking again for the lead here. Back further on in the field, Levi McCarty to the inside. I believe that is, if I'm not mistaken, I think that was one of the Pendergrass trio. Yeah, it was Austin Pendergrass in the 24 getting eaten alive a little bit further back. Alan Martin to his inside in the 15 truck. Truck's getting a little bit loose there off of turn number 2. But they all keep it straight and pointed straight. Keeping the rubber on the ground and the nose pointed forward is always a good strategy here at Phoenix. Trust me, I speak from experience. I've been upside down multiple times here. Charlie Harcum now looking for a pass possibly on Scott Phelps, but Derek Grigsby does make a move. I believe that was on Austin Pendergrass there. And now 3 wide here. Andrew Pendergrass and Jordan Berry to his inside now. Berry backs out of it, so you got the Pendergrass brothers side by side here at Phoenix Raceway. Andrew in the 44, Austin in the 24. Looks like Andrew's going to come up on top. Jordan Berry now looking to the inside. Back up front, Ed Sheeran Jr. having to defend from the 88 of Joseph Causey now. Let's see how many ways I can describe a dive bomb from Joseph Causey if he decides on one here. Off of turn number 2, Causey shows the nose to Ed Sheeran Jr. No move in sight just yet. down into turns 1 and 2. Still no move from Joseph Causey, but that gap to the lead is closing down. Ed Shearer Jr., who said himself last week he's not the biggest fan of Phoenix, but looks to be having himself a pretty decent race to this point. Sitting P2, 58 laps into this thing. 32 laps from the end of stage number 2. And if I'm doing my math right, 116 laps to the end. As actually Joseph Causey sends a dive bomb there and makes the slide job stick on his buddy Ed Shearer Jr. Now Causey sets his sights on Mark Whitley, who has been dominating this race to this point. Causey a little bit loose there off of turn number 4, but nothing going to come out of it, as looks like Ed Shearer Jr. also dealing with some handling issues in that number 1 truck. Causey looks to have the pace. This man started 21st tonight, and he's already up into 2nd place in that 88 truck. Whitley in the number 77 gets a little bit close to the wall there. Doesn't hit it, though, as now these guys send it down through the dog leg once again. Causey's starting to make up some space. Tyler Riggs thinking about a move on Kevin Dick, and what has happened to the 52 of Kevin Dick? Down the back straightaway, pretty much single file all the way throughout the field here. Kevin Dick seemingly struggling just a little bit in that 52 truck. As now Causey looks like he has a decent run up front. Not close enough for a move just yet, but knowing Joseph Causey, that move is going to come sooner rather than later. As our producer is threatening me with the 2 hours later soundtrack. Of course, from SpongeBob SquarePants, the good old cartoon I feel like everyone in America grew up on. It's now Causey to the rear end of the 77 of Whitley. This is the closest anyone has been tonight to threatening Mark Whitley's lead since lap 1 when he took it from Kevin Dick, after Kevin Dick got really loose off of turn number 2 on said lap 1. But Causey now threatening what has been a dominating truck all night. He's now looking to the inside, showing the nose to Mark Whitley, but Mark Whitley using that outside line to his advantage there and keeps the position for now. Causey starting to fall off a little bit, but as I say that, trying different lines, trying to find the grip for that 88 truck. Still no dice for Joseph Causey as he works closer and closer to the 77 of Mark Whitley. As Whitley seems to be pulling away further back, Jim Treat and Nathan Aldrich going at it. This is for 7th spot here. Joshua Lucas is getting in on this as well. He's thinking about, actually, I think Joshua Lucas may be a lap car. He is. Jim Treat completes the pass on Nathan Aldrich, being a little bit pressured by Joshua Lucas here. A little bit further back through the field here, Jacob Denson, the 79, running away from Derek Grigsby. See Austin Pendergrass running away from James Kerr there in the 75 truck. He's got a little bit of company in Jordan Berry right behind him. As now Sean Merriman working his way around the track. Merriman was involved in that wreck on lap 46 there. Of course, while we got the chance, always got to thank our race sponsor here, Aquatic Express. Are you tired of spending your weekends cleaning your pool instead of enjoying it? Look no further than Aquatic Express Pool Services. Our expert team provides top-notch pool maintenance and cleaning services, ensuring your pool is always crystal clear and ready for a swim. At Aquatic Express, we offer a range of services including regular pool cleaning and maintenance, chemical balancing and treatment, equipment inspection and repair, pool opening and closing services. Make a splash with Aquatic Express Pool Services. Of course, I got to thank Aquatic Express for being the sponsor of this race and the Aquatic Express 176 here at Phoenix Raceway, as now this battle for the lead seemingly tightening up now as Joseph Causey to the inside. This is the first time we've seen a battle for the lead here tonight. Causey gets a little bit loose on that inside line. Mark Whitley seemingly holding him up here for the moment. Mark Whitley still has his lead. Ed Sheeran Jr. looks like he's holding the popcorn seat here. Just watching these two fight it out from a little bit further back as Causey thought about another move to the inside, but Mark Whitley cuts his nose off and takes away the air from the 88 of Causey. So off of turn number 4 to complete lap 71. Mark Whitley still leads this race over Joseph Causey, Ed Sheeran Jr. in third, Kevin Dick fourth, Tyler Riggs rounds out your top 5. We are coming up to the end of stage number 2, though. Lap 80 is that magic number for these guys where we will have our second caution of the night for that stage break. That is 8 laps away here as now the leaders work past the 23 of Sean Merriman. That may be a little bit of a detriment there to Mark Whitley, but Causey's still not close enough for a move down into turn number 1 and 2. Down the back straightaway and into turn 3 and 4. This Kevin Dick to the inside now. Oh, that was actually Sean Merriman. I thought that may have been a pass for position, but no. That was Kevin Dick working his way past Sean Merriman, who had a pretty decent race going, but was unfortunately involved in that big wreck on lap number 46, I believe it was. He does not look like he has a competitive truck anymore, unfortunately. We're looking our way further back through the field. Joshua Lucas working his way back up through these lead cars. Nathan Aldrich losing out just a little bit. Scott Feltz is inside now. Charlie Harcum looking to join this battle as well. As back up front, Mark Whitley still leads this race over Joseph Causey. This battle is starting to lengthen out a little bit. Wondering if Joseph Causey may have burned his tires off just a little bit too quickly to be able to challenge Mark Whitley. You can see some of these guys starting to deal with some handling issues here as we're approaching lap 40 on this run here on these set of tires for the majority of your field. And we had that caution 6 laps into that said tire run, but still these guys are fighting for grip on what is an ever-rising track temp as we've gotten about an hour into this race. That track temp's already peaking north of 90 as the air temp's working its way towards 80 degrees here. Off on turn number 4, Jim Treat here on screen. Running away from Joshua Lucas. He's moved up to P6 after his incident earlier on in this race. Remember, he was sideways off of turn 2 earlier on and took a pretty good chunk out of the inside wall back up to P6, or excuse me, P7 Jim Treat is. See Levi McCarty here. Had to run by himself. in that 8th spot. Got a pretty, it's kind of a no man's land here. 2 seconds up to Jim Treat, another second and a half back to Scott Feltz in the 11. See Nathan Aldrich and Jacob Denson, getting into blows with each other here on track. This is for, if I'm not mistaken, 11th place. As now lap number 80 here, Mark Whitley has kind of run away now from Joseph Causey off of turn number 4. Mark Whitley going to sweep the real assist stages here tonight. Mark Whitley dominates stage 1 and 2. Caution on the racetrack for that real assist stage break here. We'll go ahead and take our second commercial break of the night here at the end of stage number 2. Stay right here. We'll take it to the end, commercial free, right after this.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Back live here for the Aquatic Express 176 at Phoenix Raceway for the High Slide Racing League Truck Series. Joseph Causey jumps Mark Whitley in the pit lane. And now we got ourselves, for the first time since the drop of the initial green flag, a brand new pole sitter here for a restart. Joseph Causey started 21st on the grid here tonight, sitting up in the lead nice and pretty off of turn number 4. Green flag back in the air here at Phoenix Raceway, and Causey with a huge jump over Mark Whitley and Ed Sheeran Jr. now fighting for second and third. Single filed out pretty much for the majority of your top 8. As Andrew Chapman makes a little bit of contact with Mark Whitley. They all keep it straight, though, as now that's going to get a little tight off the corner there, as Jacob Denson looks like he is wrecked. I'll have to get a replay of what happened here. Oh, Jacob Denson looks like he just loses it. Caution number 3 on the night here, presented by Realty Executive Saskatoon here, as Jacob Denson goes for a little half spin off of turn number 4. Minimal contact from Derek Grigsby, but shouldn't be too bad on the damage aspect. As Joseph Causey still leads this race, Ed Sheeran Jr. second. And Mark Whitley gets demoted down to that 3rd spot. Almost got spun by the 25 of Andrew Chapman, but was able to keep that 3rd spot. .88 laps complete on the night, now 89. As Jacob Denson brings it down pit road after his half spin. Get another look at the replay. See what happened to Jacob Denson here. Good job on everyone for avoiding the 79 at Denson there. As I said, Joseph Causey still your leader here. Ed Sheeran Jr. does get moved up into that 2nd spot after a really good restart from the one truck. Mark Whitley, the dominating force all night, down into that 3rd spot, lowest he's been on the night. Andrew Chapman back up to where he started in that 4th spot. Tyler Riggs has moved up into the 5th spot. Levi McCarty 6th, Harcum 7th, Jim Treat in 8th, Scott Feltz 9th, Nathan Aldridge in 10th. Derek Grigsby in 11th, with Kevin Dick having himself a little bit of a rough race down in 12th position. Unsure as what has happened to the 52, but he's working on trying to get himself back up to where he's been all night. James Kerr 13th, Cody Henderson 14th, Andrew Pendergrass in 15th. Jordan Berry is 16th with Joshua Lucas in 17th. Jacob Denson, who just went for a spin off of turn number 3, is in 18th. Sean Merriman in 19th. Got a couple of guys 1 lap down. Austin Pendergrass and Garrett Velzy both 1 lap down. Alan Martin has pulled it behind the wall. He's in 22nd, 7 laps down. Timothy Pendergrass and Jason Miz, your other 2 retirements on the night. And that was your run through for your 24 truck grid, I should say, here, as we continue working our way through this 3rd caution on the night. One lap back to green flag racing here as the lights on the pace car are out. It'll be Joseph Causey leading these guys back to that green flag. to get us back to racing under green flag conditions here as we are approaching the centennial mark of this race. 9 laps to go till lap 100. I believe that is, if I'm not mistaken, 77 laps to go, I think? No. Math, 75 laps to go here at Phoenix Raceway. Going to be Joseph Causey with control over this restart. Through 3 and 4. Green flag back out of the air here at Phoenix Raceway. Semi-slower jump for Joseph Causey is now to the inside. Mark Whitley having to defend from the 25 of Andrew Chapman. Going to send a dive bomb now to keep it in front of Chapman on Ed Shearer Jr., but isn't able to make it stick. Ed Shearer Jr. solo second place here. Chapman still to the outside of the 77 of Mark Whitley. To the outside, Andrew Chapman. Looks like he has that third position as now your 2 inside and outside pole sitters seemingly struggling here. It's now to the inside. Mark Whitley tries to keep that third spot, gets a little bit tight, almost gets up into the 25 of Chapman. Keeps it straight though, no contact between the two. Further back, Levi McCarty showing the nose to Tyler Riggs. This is for your 5th spot at the moment. Through the dog leg, it looks like McCarty did the up and under on Tyler Riggs. I don't know if it's going to be able to stick for Levi McCarty. Off the corner, gets a little bit loose, and that should promote Tyler Riggs back up into that 5th spot as he now looks on trying to get up to Mark Whitley for that 4th spot. Oh, Levi McCarty big time loose. Big wiggle out of the 21. It's Kevin Dick now trying to work his way back up through the field. He's gained himself 4 spots since the end of stage number 2. Back up into that 8th spot, the 52. Having himself a little bit of a rough race here tonight after you're starting on pole position. Nathan Aldridge still working his way through the field. Had himself a pretty good day to this point. Been a solid top 10 truck the majority of the day, but still wants a little bit more out of that 514. Back up front, Mark Whitley now looking to re-attack the 25 of Andrew Chapman. Get back up onto that podium in that 3rd place, but right now Joseph Causey trying to run away with this one, but he's got a little bit of a partner in Ed Shearer Jr. trying to make it a little bit difficult for Joseph Causey. Off of turn number 4, Causey still has that lead, but Ed Shearer Jr. seems to be closing in. Seems to be going on the hunt further back. Andrew Chapman still trying to run away from Mark Whitley. These things have, for the most part, single filed out. Off of turn number 4, Colton Henderson. Someone's trying to chase down. Back through the field here. See Jim Treat a little bit further back, trying to make some moves. Jacob Denton, after having his spin a few laps ago, he's working on getting some positions back. We're working on a move on Derek Grigsby in the 5 truck. Looks like he should be able to get that move to stick down into 3 and 4. Moves done and dusted. But further up, Levi McCarty has gotten passed by the 52 of Kevin Dick, who's now working on trying to catch up to Charlie Harcum. Kevin Dick up into that 7th spot now. Yeah, 100 laps in the books here out of 176. We're going to go and do rev it up with Ryko here and listen to the sights and sounds of Phoenix Raceway. Always nice to listen to the sights and sounds of every racetrack here on iRacing, and tonight Phoenix was the showcase as we keep our eyes on this battle for the lead here. Not really much of a battle to this point, but Ed Shearer Jr. has been sticking to Joseph Kazi like white on rice at this point. We've crossed lap 100 here, coming up on 70 laps to go here in this race. Been a pretty entertaining one to this point. Mark Whitley dominated stages 1 and 2, but he's fallen back a little bit, just to about 8/10 off the lead, as now Charlie Harcum, Tyler Riggs, and Kevin Dick all fighting for the 5th spot. As Kevin Dick really loose off of turn number 2 there. Keeping our eyes on this battle here. Charlie Harcum still working on trying to catch up to Tyler Riggs in that 26 SpongeBob SquarePants machine. Still no moves being made here. I guess Harcum is either saving tires or just waiting for the move to solidify itself here. Up front, Ed Shearer Jr. thought about a move for the lead, but nothing solidified, as Harcum now to the inside of Tyler Riggs. In turns 1 and 2 here, Riggs fighting back on the outside line, Harcum on the inside. Down into turns 3 and 4, almost said 1 and 2, because this used to be turns 1 and 2 until the reconfiguration back in, I believe it was 2019 that this track got the reconfiguration, or was it 2021? I can never remember. I believe it was either 2018 or 2019, one of those 2 years. But now Kevin Dick to the inside of Tyler Riggs. As he has to back out of it before he gets down into turn number 3. Charlie Harcum, though, does move up into that 5th spot, ahead of Tyler Riggs, who's defending for everything it's worth from Kevin Dick and Levi McCarty. Upon further research, it was actually 2019 when the renovations were completed. Back up front, still Joseph Kazi leading over Ed Shearer Jr., who, mind you, is still dealing with a little bit of right side damage after Andrew Chapman got loose on the high side of him a little bit earlier on in this race. Gave himself a little bit of right side damage, but Ed Shearer Jr. still has a relatively competitive truck. As we get ourselves a side-by-side battle for the 6th spot. Tyler Riggs and Kevin Dick side-by-side in 3 and 4. Coming up off of 4, Kevin Dick has to get out of the gas a little bit to avoid getting tight. Levi McCarty now takes opportunity here to try and make a pass on Kevin Dick down into turns 1 and 2 for the back car in the wall there. Cody Henderson in the 710 on the wall for a second. McCarty tried to slide job Kevin Dick. Did not work, as now Kevin Dick back up into 7th. Levi McCarty having to get off the gas there to avoid hitting the wall off of turn number 4, down into 1. Now looks back ahead, trying to catch back up. The likes of Kevin Dick, Tyler Riggs, and Charlie Harcum. Meanwhile, further back, Jacob Denson and Cody Henderson, Derek Grigsby as well, all in our own little fight here. As Grigsby looks to the inside of Cody Henderson in the 710. James Kerr right behind him, side by side with somebody. Can't quite tell who that is. I believe that maybe one of the Pendergrass brothers, possibly. No, it is not actually. It is Sean Feltz in the 11. Sean Feltz sends a move to the inside of James Kerr. Joshua Lucas right behind him. Got himself back on the lead lap after going sideways on lap 47. It's taken himself a while, about almost 70 laps here to get back up to where he was, but he's back up in this battle for the top 10. Ooh, Sean Felt's getting really tight off the corner there. Things starting to tighten up here on this long run. We do expect to start seeing green flag pit stops here as they go 3 wide, offset down into turn number 1. But we do expect to start seeing green flag pit stops here within the next 10 to 15 laps for these guys. And then that should actually, within the next 10 laps, I should say. But that should put these guys on pace to have to make one more stop tonight before the end of this race. As you saw, the laps run number for the majority of the field sitting at 34. Up and down your top 10 here. You see Charlie Harcum has started to pull away from this 3-car trio of Kevin Dick, Tyler Riggs, and Levi McCarty. Harcum is slowly but surely catching up to Mark Whitley. It may be only by about a half a tenth here, a half a tenth there, but he is starting to catch up bit by bit, piece by piece. It's Tyler Riggs and Levi McCarty still going at it for position. That would be for your 7th spot if that battle were to materialize. Up front, though, Mark Whitley to the inside of Andrew Chapman for 3rd spot. That got a little bit tight there down into turn 3 and 4. Chapman a little bit loose off the corner. That's going to send Mark Whitley having to force himself to take his truck down onto the dog leg a lot more aggressively than he has been. But now he's setting up for the up and under here on Andrew Chapman. Doesn't look like he's close enough. Gets a little bit loose there. Still has a run. Does he make a move? Thinks about it. Almost gave the bumper to Andrew Chapman there. Slightly drifting, Mark Whitley is. He's now looking to the inside of the 25 of Chapman. Does he make a move? Doesn't look like it. Off of turn number 2, Whitley doesn't quite have as good of a run as he did last time. It doesn't look like he's going to attempt another aggressive move down into 3 and 4 here. So Chapman stays 3rd for another lap. Whitley is on the bumper, though, down into turns 1 and 2. Backs off a little bit. Chapman goes up to block. But Whitley does not take no for an answer here, and he keeps it to the outside. Chapman now having to defend to the inside. This is your battle for 3rd. Chapman's just going to back off and let him have it. Off of turn number 4, Mark Whitley takes over that 3rd spot. Gets himself back up onto the podium places as now Kevin Dick to the inside of Charlie Harcum puts himself up into the top 5 for the first time in a while. Back up front, Joseph Causey still leading by about 7/10 over Ed Shearer Jr. in the 1 truck. He's showing as the 24, but he is the 1 on timing and scoring. Back through the field here, Tyler Riggs trying to catch back up to Charlie Harcum. Levi McCarty hot on his tail. Right behind them, Jacob Denson having himself a pretty decent race. Derek Grigsby up in the final spot in the top 10 here, sitting in 10th place. Scott Feltz right behind them. Cody Henderson, James Kerr. Excuse me, that was Joshua Lucas, James Kerr, then Cody Henderson. Jordan Berry. That's Jim Treat. Andrew Pendergrass, and then I believe that is Garrett Velzy right behind him. Out of stage 3, the dominating car to this point being Joseph Causey in the 88. led pretty much every lap since the drop of the green flag for stage number 3. Remember, Mark Whitley was the dominating force, took both stages here tonight, but seemingly on the struggle bus that 77 truck is for the moment. You see last lap times here for these guys. These guys have fallen off about 2.5 or so seconds off their fastest times. If we look at what was the fastest truck earlier on in this race, Mark Whitley, his fastest lap was on lap 2 at 26.998, so just under 2 seconds of fall off for a lot of these guys. You see fastest lap there, pretty much everyone running it on lap 2. See Ed Shearer Jr., Mark Whitley working their way through some lap traffic, getting the likes of Andrew Pendergrass, who goes a second lap down here on this long green flag run. We do expect some green flag pit stops here within the next few laps for a lot of these guys, as last pit stops would have been lap 90, so we're coming up on 40 laps in this run here within the next lap or so. So should start to see some guys pull it down pit road for, if I'm doing my math right, which should be the second to last pit stop. Would not be surprised to see a lot of these guys push it as far as they can, as you see 47 laps for a lot of the field here. Actually, based on those numbers, this would be the last pit stop. So, money stops coming up here at Phoenix Raceway for the majority of the field. 130 laps into this thing. Joseph Causey is still your leader over Ed Shearer Jr., Mark Whitley, Andrew Chapman, and Kevin Dick round out your top 5. Charlie Harcum, Tyler Riggs, Levi McCarty, Jacob Denson, Derek Grigsby, your top 10. This green flag pit stop should be happening any moment, we're expecting here. Most everyone decided to keep it out there for another lap. Trying to push it as far as possible, or either hoping for a caution. One of the two options for a lot of these guys here. My guess would be they're trying to push this as far as they can to make that last stint, as we got pit stops going on here. Pit road, a busy place. Levi McCarty, your first taker on pit road. Right behind him, Jacob Denson in the 79. Derek Grigsby follows him down as well. You see the leaders go by them to lap these guys, as Scott Feltz comes down pit road as well. Keeping our eye on our leader to see if he brings it down pit road. He stays out for another lap. Looks like Ed Shearer does as well. Oh, Mark Whitley getting real sideways into pit road there. That is a speeding penalty for Mark Whitley. You're dominating truck here tonight in stages 1 and 2. Gets a speeding penalty on the money stop. Look at this replay here. You see him trying to get as much time on pit road as he can. Hits the brakes way too late. Pit road, a busy place for the rest of the field. Joseph Causey, Ed Shearer Jr., Andrew Chapman, Kevin Dick down pit road as well. Final green flag pit stops of the night for a lot of your field here. Money stop time. Who gets it right? Who gets it wrong? Joseph Causey down and away, as our eyes stay on Ed Shearer Jr., Mark Whitley, and Kevin Dick here. See Joseph Causey coming up on these guys now. He's going to get away down and away, a good chunk away from the rest of the field here, as you see Ed Shearer Jr. there now. Andrew Chapman and Kevin Dick side by side for position off of pit road. Causey is your leader, though far and away your leader, as Andrew Pendergrass, James Kerr have not come down pit road, as actually James Kerr is down pit road at the moment. If you're just joining us, Andrew Pendergrass is your leader on pit stops right now. Green flag pit stops are in order at the moment. Money stops for a lot of the field as we cross for 40 to go here at Phoenix. So we continue to watch Andrew Pendergrass here. Expect him to come down pit road here very soon in the 44 truck. I believe he should be coming down here soon. He should be coming up to the end of his run right now. He's currently on, I believe, lap 57 of his run at the moment, so he's pushing this thing to the very end. The last lap times for the lot of the field here, almost 2 seconds quicker Joseph Causey is over Andrew Pendergrass in the 44. You see right there, is that 49 or 79? 50 now, but he is coming up to the very bone dry end, and it looks like he is coming down pit road this time. Virtual hand out the window there. Andrew Pendergrass relinquishes the lead to be the last pit stop on the day. That hands the lead back to this man, Joseph Causey. Pretty convincingly, he's got a 2-second lead over Ed Shearer Jr. While we got a little bit of a calm moment, we're going to take our third commercial break of the night. It should be the last one of the racing action. We'll take it to the end right after this here on GridVision.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Back live here for the High Slide Racing League Truck Series. Just across the 30 to go. Mark Joseph Causey still leads this race. Ed Sheeran Jr. over at Andrew Chapman in that second spot. Working himself through some lap traffic here in the likes of, I believe that's Andrew Pendergrass and Nathan Aldrich here. Causey has dominated the second stage of this race from about lap 90 on. I'm pretty sure he's led every lap from lap 90, so Causey really took over this race once the track started to heat up. Whitley has struggled as he's all the way down. Actually, where the heck is Mark Whitley? Oh yeah, he got the speeding penalty, duh. As you can see, I have gone loopy from the amount of talking I've done tonight, so please accept my apologies for that, as I currently do not have any brain cells left at this point. Slowly approaching 25 laps to go here at Phoenix. Seems like a short time, but when these tires start to wear for a lot of these guys, that can be a very, very long time, especially for a commentator who's going solo at the moment as well. See Joseph Causey coming around to lap Jim Treat in the 86 truck. Just lapped Nathan Aldrich in the 514. I believe Nathan Aldrich is actually trying to get his lap back here and get himself back onto the lead lap. I just love listening to the sights and sounds of Phoenix Raceway here, letting these trucks roar to life around the Diamond of the Desert here in Phoenix, Arizona. Man, such a good sound as Nathan Aldrich does get around Joseph Causey, but Causey has lost big time to Ed Sheeran Jr., who is now just one truck behind him. Got Jim Treat right in front of him. Now he's going to go to the inside to lap him. And that puts this battle for the lead starting to heat up just a little bit here. Coming up on 20 to go here at Phoenix. As things do start to pick up, business is starting to pick up for this lead. Causey starting to pull away just a little bit. That gap starting to grow ever so slowly as a lot of lap traffic for these guys to deal with here. Causey gets clear of Austin Pendergrass. So does Ed Sheeran Jr. down into turns 1 and 2, but they're offset 3 wide in front of Causey. Nowhere for the 88 to go at the moment. See right in front of him, Jordan Berry, James Kerr, and Nathan Aldrich all getting ready to go 1 lap down. Aldrich did just get his lap back, but seems to be falling off a little bit here as now Causey looks to his inside. Ooh, James Kerr getting a little bit loose there off of turn number 2. Does get out of the way for Joseph Causey. Almost doesn't. Causey now looking to the inside of Nathan Aldrich. Ed Shearer Jr. gets clear of 75 of James Kerr. .25 laps to go here at Phoenix. As I said a little bit earlier, lap 1. 19 laps to go. Am I dumb? I am dumb. 19 to go. Guys, give me a break. I'm losing my mind up here. See Kevin Dick and Andrew Chapman here battling for position. This is for your final spot on the podium. Your third place position. Letting this battle breathe here. Kevin Dick in the wall, though. The 52 hits the wall on that right side. Kind of takes himself out of that battle for third position for the moment. But it does look like he has the faster truck at the moment. Andrew Chapman's about 4 seconds behind your leaders, which that battle for the lead is actually starting to tighten up just a tad bit. Ed Sheeran Jr. back up to the bumper of Joseph Causey, who just cannot get around this lap traffic in front of him. That begs the question, will Ed Sheeran Jr. be able to take advantage of this? You can see Shearer Jr. a lot more confident on the brakes down into turn 3 and 4 than Causey is. Causey to the inside of Nathan Aldrich. Ed Sheeran Jr. showing the nose. Thinks about a move, but thinks better of it here. As now both of these guys only have one more truck to work through in the likes of Jordan Berry in the 18 truck. Ed Sheeran Jr. falls off just a little bit of the 88 of Joseph Causey. Off the back bumper, excuse me, the rear end of the 18 of Jordan Berry. You see our two leaders chasing him down. Of course, Ed Sheeran Jr. still dealing with a little bit of damage on that right side of that number 1 truck. He's made good use of what he's got left out of the performance of that truck, running second place behind his good buddy Joseph Causey. These two have been the dominating force for the last half of this race, just like they were at Talladega a couple of weeks ago. Causey to the inside of Jordan Berry, but Berry does keep himself on the lead lap for now. And if Ed Sheeran Jr. is going to make a move, now's the time to do it while Causey is struggling to get around this lap traffic. Causey does get to the inside of Jordan Berry, but it looks like Berry may have the run off the corner. Let's see if he'll back up and just give it to him. Doesn't look like he will. Berry sticking to the outside of the 88 at Joseph Causey. Causey, though, takes the dog leg. Looks like he should get clear of Jordan Berry. Now it's going to be on Ed Sheeran Jr. Actually, no. Causey does not get clear of Jordan Berry. Now he does, but Berry comes around the outside once again. Lap traffic, a big-time struggle here for Joseph Causey, as now Jordan Berry racing him, it looks like. Off of turn number 4 to take 10 laps to go here. Or technically it'd be 11, but 10 laps to go. Close enough here. As Joseph Causey does get clear of Jordan Berry, and Ed Sheeran Jr. gets clear of him as well. So now clean air for your two leaders. Who's going to be the beneficiary of this? Off of turn number 4 to officially take 10 to go. Still Joseph Causey leading this race. Ed Sheeran Jr. still trying to chase him down here. Andrew Chapman has almost fallen off to about 5 seconds back off of Joseph Causey, who's now Chapman's still trying to defend from Kevin Dick for that third spot. Looks like he's done a pretty good job of it so far. Back up front, it looks like Causey's starting to pull away from Ed Sheeran Jr. a little bit, so looks like Ed Sheeran Jr. just doesn't have the clean air pace that Joseph Causey does. He wasn't able to use that traffic to his benefit and make this battle for the lead a little bit closer. Back through the field here. We look back, Mark Whitley almost sideways there off the corner. Remember, Mark Whitley is a lap down after getting a speeding penalty under green flag pit stops. I believe he may have actually gone 2 laps down, Mark Whitley did. Actually, no, he's still only 1 lap down. Joseph Causey still trying to pull away from Ed Sheeran Jr. That gap has stagnated right around 3.5 tenths between these two, but doesn't look like anyone's able to get further away than that 3.5 tenth mark. Ed Sheeran Jr. still trying everything he can to get up to Joseph Causey. Just doesn't look like he has enough, as you have to put one hand in the air. 5 laps to go here at Phoenix Raceway for Joseph Causey, who has been pure and utter domination here in the second half of this race. Of course, Mark Whitley took the first 2 stages. And if you haven't watched past stage 2, Mark Whitley got a speeding penalty on pit road under green flag pit stops. He went 2 laps down, got 1 lap back. Actually, no, he did not get 1 lap back. He went almost 2 laps down, but has gotten 1 of his laps back. Nope, that still doesn't make sense. He's a lap down. He got a speeding penalty. But past stage 2, it has been nothing but Joseph Causey, who jumped Whitley on the stage 2 pit stops and hasn't looked back since. Ed Sheeran Jr. is the only one that's really been able to challenge that 88 truck to this point. And you see, that's about the closest he's been all night. As they take 3 to go here at Phoenix. Ed Sheeran Jr., he's picked up the pace of that truck, but so has Joseph Causey. Both of them pushing those trucks for everything it is worth at the moment. Down into turn number 3 and 4, Joseph Causey, once again been the dominating force all night, comes up to take 2 to go here. Popsicle sticks in the air at Phoenix Raceway as Joseph Causey takes his victory laps at the moment, as it does not look like Ed Sheeran Jr. will be able to catch him unless this lap car comes into play here. Looks like Sean Merriman's just going to get out of the way, doesn't want to get in the way of the battle for the lead, is now down into turn number 3 and 4. Joseph Causey's going to come around to take the white flag here at Phoenix Raceway. Domination, the story of the night. Mark Whitley dominates the first 2 stages. Post stage 2, it's been nothing but Joseph Causey as he comes off of turn number 2 and now the back straightaway for the final time tonight. Down into turn number 3 and 4. Joseph Causey going to get his first career win of the High Slide Racing League Truck Series and lock himself into the playoffs. Ed Sheeran Jr. going to take home a 2nd place. Andrew Chapman holds off Kevin Dick for that 3rd spot. Kevin Dick 4th, and Charlie Harcum rounds out your top 5 here tonight. And it looks like Ed Sheeran Jr. is doing a little bit of drifting off of turn number 2 there. Joseph Causey is going to attempt a reverse injury that fails horribly. And yes, I'm only making fun of Joseph Causey because he's my buddy. So yeah, Causey, if you come back to watch this, you suck. Just kidding. As we watch Joseph Causey burn it down in your Ryko Performance winning moment here at Phoenix Raceway, the Diamond of the Desert. Joseph Causey dominates past stage number 2. With that, we're going to go ahead and take our final commercial break of the night. We'll be back in just 1 minute here for post-race coverage and post-race interviews with your top 3. Back live here at Phoenix Raceway. Joseph Causey dominates on the night, leads 88 laps on the night, and wins tonight's race. The Aquatic Express 176 from Phoenix Raceway. Ed Sheeran Jr. in 2nd, Chapman 3rd, Kevin Dick in 4th, Charlie Harcum rounds out your top 5 here tonight. Levi McCarty in 6th, Tyler Riggs in 7th, Jacob Denton in 8th, Joshua Lucas in 9th. Derek Grigsby rounds out your top 10 on the night. Scott Phelps takes home an 11 spot, the 11. Cody Henderson at 7, Jordan Harry in 13th, and Grass 14th. If James Kerr 15th, Jim 16th, Mark Lewis at 17th after that earlier penalty on the money stock here tonight. He's just at 17th, flat down after leaving himself a pretty good chunk of last well. Nathan Aldridge is at 17th, Nathan Aldridge is at 18th, Garrett Felsi is at 19th, and Sean Merriman rounds out your top 20. Your final 4 finishers on the night: Austin Pendergrass, Alan Martin, Timothy Bradgrass, and Jason Miz finish off your 24 truck field that took the grid here tonight. And we're only going to have 2 post-race interviews. It looks like first off, going to be speaking with your 2nd place finisher here tonight, Ed Sheeran Jr. And it looks like you had the pace there at the end with the traffic, but you weren't able to get it done. How are you feeling after that?
I'm sweating a lot. But yeah, I told Causey, I was hanging out with him. I said if I get the chance, I was gonna Daniel Hemrick him. So, but couldn't get close enough. I tried my best though. But yeah, we had a couple battles there, me and Causey, and it was fun battling with Mark and Kevin there at the beginning. But yeah, the truck was solid all night. I'm starting to get the hang of this truck thing a little bit. It's definitely fun here at Phoenix. It's a little harder to pass than before, I feel like. So that's the only negative a little bit. But it was definitely fun. I felt like we definitely had the best long run truck. I think the cautions played out a little bit in the Causey's favor with that one yellow where it was all cycled a little bit. But other than that, yeah, we had a great truck all night. I was happy to get some stage points, and I'm really happy with 2nd though.
Yeah, look, one question I did want to ask is, if that traffic did come into a little bit more play for you guys, do you think you could have gotten close enough for a move there, or was there just not enough, clean air for you to be able to get that move made?
It was a little difficult with the lap traffic, like you mentioned, but it would have been, I don't know, it was rough, especially with how he was running his line. It's like the only way you were going to be able to run is like if you run that diamond up in 1 and 2, like that middle to bottom. But it was just hard enough with dirty air because he was kind of protecting it. So my best move was basically just to dive bomb a little bit on that bottom lane and try to get it to rotate, which it helped me did get back to him because I was falling off of him a bit. But I mean, I got back to him running the bottom, and then I just couldn't go anywhere with it. And definitely the lap traffic did not help. We were kind of getting frustrated with it. It was a lot of lap traffic that was not playing in our favor. But luckily we both finished where we were. And yeah, just shout out to everybody at Phantom Sin Sports and Team Conti, Lucky Ducks Motorsports. You guys are putting on the broadcasts and all. Thanks, Darby, for producing, and you in the booth, and Nick. Always a great show with you guys. But yeah, go on the next week, I guess. I mean, we're getting close. We just need one more spot.
Yeah, that is true. And one last question I did want to ask you real quick is, this race was scheduled to be a night race here tonight, but I guess something got a little bit screwed up in the session, and it ended up starting at 8 a.m. in the morning. Did that really affect your preparation for this race?
Not really. I mean, either way, I knew it was going to be basically a tire save race, but it was just a little bit more different with the tire saving here, with the track temp being a little bit more slicker than it was at night. But definitely made it a lot of fun. I had a couple moments where I was burning the right rear a little bit, but my tires were basically about the same each time I came down pit road, so I was pretty much managing it well. But no, it was overall fun. It was a great show.
Congratulations on the second place there, Ed, and hopefully we get to see you next week here at Charlotte.
Yeah, thanks, boys. Appreciate it.
As Ed Shearer Jr., your second place finisher, and now we get to speak with your first time race winner on the season, Joseph Kazi. How you feeling, man?
Wore out.
That's exactly what Ed said.
But man, I had the hardest work, I think. Coming from the back after abysmal qualifying, I mean, shoot, I'm done.
Yeah, I was going to say, you started 21st and somehow came out with the win of this thing. Pretty much going from last to first in terms of the people who actually set times in qualifying. So, and I mean, technically you did go from last to first as you started on the second to last row. So congratulations on that aspect. But this is one question I asked Ed as well, is this race was set up to be a night race, but it ended up something with the times, I guess, ended up getting screwed up, and it ended up being a mid-morning race. How did that affect you, knowing that it was supposed to be a night race and it ended up being a mid-morning race?
Well, there was more wear. You could definitely tell it was more slippery and slidey, and it was not like how it was in practice with the way, you were pretty gripped up with how cool it was and everything. When sun started beating down, the tires started not liking it very much. So it was not very happy, to say the least, and you had to be more cautious. I tried to get around Whitley during that second stage, or try to get him for that second stage, and I just couldn't do it. It was like he had more drive off than me. I don't know if he was shifting or not, and I just couldn't do it. I thought I had 5 lap extra fresher tires, and I was like, man, I have nothing for him. I tried shifting myself, and that just hurt me more. And then I was like, if I could beat him off pit road here, after we took that second stage, I was like, I have a chance to control the race, because clean air is king here. You get out front, it's so hard to pass here, and it makes it. It's kind of ridiculous, but for the leader, you're like, yeah, all I gotta do is block this guy. All I gotta do is save at the top of 1 and 2. As long as you keep him the high side of 1 and 2, it's hard to make up the ground for 3 and 4. So, hey, when I got out front, I made sure I had a great pit stop, and it worked out in my favor.
Yeah, pure domination from the end of stage 2 on. And before we let you go celebrate this win, who you got to thank? Who gets it done for you?
Man, thank all the sponsors here that freaking put all this together, and Garrett that put all this together. Like I said, all the sponsors have Prune Designs, freaking Realty Exclusives from Saskatoon, Crohn's and Colitis Awareness, men's mental health awareness, and Autism Speaks, and Northland Leisure, and Real Assist, and Aquatic Express. All our sponsors here that helped put this broadcast and everything all together for this, for this league race. Thank all of them, and thank everybody else, man. It was a great, clean race. But it was probably boring in some aspects, but man, it's hard to find guys that, you have long green runs like the way we do, and it's great.
Well, congratulations on the win tonight, Joseph, and hopefully get to go 2 for 2 next week at Charlotte.
Yes, sir. Hopefully we can.
That was Joseph Causey, your race winner, and that is our last post-race interview on the night. And normally I would send it to Sheldon Adkins for his final thoughts, but unfortunately he had some technical issues that prevented him from being able to call pretty much the entirety of this race. So no final thoughts from him, but I will give some final thoughts myself. It was a really good race here tonight. I feel like there was a lot of racing on the night with how hot the track was. I feel like it could have been better as a night race, but you know, sometimes these things happen, and we'll just call it a little rain delay, and they had to do it Monday morning. But that will do it for us here tonight. No schedule for us, unfortunately, but for more information on getting your league broadcaster or getting your start in commentary to come in to do what I do and maybe give me some help if Sheldon Adkins has some more technical issues. But like I said, for more information on getting that stuff, go ahead and contact us on Facebook, X, or email us at info@gridvision.live. Thanks for Andrew Cardinal IV of Whiplash Sim Cams for providing the cams used on tonight's broadcast. Thank you, and congratulations to Joseph Causey for winning this race from the Aquatic Express 176 from Phoenix Raceway. And that'll do it for us here tonight. I've been Nick Stein. Unfortunately, like I said, Sheldon Adkins with some technical issues. He wasn't able to join us here tonight. But it was Austin Derbyshire in the production booth. That's it from us. We'll see you next time on the grid.